Hello and welcome everyone back to my channel. I'm Freya Swan and today I'm doing Oracle Thursday. I have no idea if Oracle Thursday is an actual thing. I just sort of made it up to go along with Tarot Tuesday and Wednesday runes on Thursdays instead. I've got a bunch of different oracles, like oracle decks and different things that I like to use. And I'm just going to pick one of those every Thursday. And for this week, I picked my Magickal Herb Oracle deck. And I love working with this deck, and I think you're really going to enjoy this session. So the first thing is that for these readings, this is how they work. I post on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and MeWe. And I post a picture with, I have the cards or whatever tool I'm using. I have them labeled A, B, or C, or whatever is appropriate. And I ask my online community to select one. And from there, we get a reading later in the day. I do the sort of reveal of my interpretations, and I create this video for everyone. If you're just seeing this now, that's fine. You can choose your letter, look at the picture there, see what you're drawn to, and then we'll move on from there. Okay, so the reveal here. The first card that for people who picked A is comfrey. And if you can't see that at the bottom of the card, it's sort of in dark print there. The word above it is repair. Now, the herb we're talking about, comfrey, Symphytum officinale. This makes absolute sense that they'd call it repair because comfrey is a wound healing herb. It's known as knit bone. It's known as bruisewort, and it's a cell proliferator, meaning it encourages the healing and replication of cells after an injury. It's a bit astringent, which helps draw cells together, which helps them knit themselves to one another a lot faster. It's used in traditional Western herbalism to speed healing in things like breaks, like a cut, a break in the skin, an abrasion. And, you'd use topical applications for that. So something like a salve or an ointment, or perhaps you'd use it as a wash. You could also apply it as a poultice to something. You can apply it as a poultice over broken bones. It will go through the skin that way. Some people also, if they have something like a broken bone or sprains or strains, will also take it as a tea or put a comfrey poultice on their sprains or on a bruise. Now, there are some cautions to comfrey. I'm not going to get into those in this video. I can actually do a video just on these various herbs if people are into herbal lore. I tend to geek out on it, so I'm very happy to do those videos. But for our purposes here for this reading, I want you to understand a bit about the plant so you can sort of see why this herb in this deck is being called repair. Excuse me. If you were, I like to add it to my face cream, by the way. So if you like to make herbal crafts, comfrey, it's a little comfrey infused oil into your face creams and lotions is a nice touch. So if you were drawn to this card with the title of repair, comfrey here is advising you to find what needs repair in your life. What's torn, what's broken, what's wounded, what has not healed. You're being given an opportunity to address this. What kind of balms or salves can you apply to your emotional wounds? What kind of self-care and self-love can you apply to those personal injuries, especially in those cases where you're no longer in touch with the other person or other parties involved? This often can happen when a parent or a relative has passed away, or, if there has been a break in a relationship and that person is just no longer in your life and you can't get resolution from them, you need to then provide it for yourself in order to heal. So this is saying it's time to heal. It's time to let all this go. Can you mend a broken relationship? If so, this is the time to take action on that. If you can't mend that broken relationship, then it's time to mend that wound on your end at least. Comfrey has a number of, I guess, magical associations to prosperity and protection. So for people who are drawn to this card, this might be why. You can carry a piece of comfrey root or some dried comfrey leaf or flower in a pouch. You can make sort of a health and wealth charm for that. Comfrey is it's a wonderful healer of all things, so you might want to carry a little bit of that with you. And almost every herbal shop will have some if you're looking for it. All right, so moving on to the next card here, we have yarrow, or Achillea millefolium. And the property of yarrow that this deck focused on here is the word open, being open. And a little bit about yarrow. This is another wound care herb. Yarrow is often called the battlefield herb because it's known to stop bleeding externally and also internally. However, yarrow is also used traditionally to break a fever. It helps to induce sweat and it opens up the pores, kind of like throwing open a window symbolically here and letting the heat out. Even though physiologically we'd be looking at that as, we sweat and then the sweat then cools our skin off, whichever way you want to look at that. The point is that you induce sweat and the fever breaks. So for those who are drawn to this card, it's time to open up. It's time to let out whatever anger or bitterness you may have bottled up inside and let it go. You need to give your pain a way out. And this could mean any number of things. It might mean giving it voice, either by perhaps addressing someone who hurt you, addressing them directly, or perhaps it's talking it out with like a trusted friend or a therapist, or like I do a lot of times, I just pace and talk to myself. I talk things out and I just get it out of my system and then it's gone. You could also write everything down and maybe perhaps put some yarrow in that piece of paper, fold it up, and in a very safe receptacle, burn it and let it go. Other options might be building up a sweat through dancing or an intense workout. Please be careful to avoid injury if you go that route. Some people can get really into it as dancing as a form of trance, or even working out as a form of trance, and just building up that sweat and letting it go. Sometimes being in that altered state, you may not be paying attention, so please be careful that you don't injure yourself in the process. Another thing that this could look like is spending time in a sauna or a steam room and letting it out that way. Or maybe just as a way just to purify your physical body. This card is also a reminder that issues can be stored in your tissues. There's a book, Issues in Your Tissues, and if you haven't read it, you really should. I recall back to when I had my massage practice open, which I closed because I no longer had childcare, but people would routinely have emotional releases while on the table. So if intense workouts aren't your thing, and you don't want to do, let's say, some other type of sweating or whatever, you might look to body work, like massage therapy or some type of energy work like Reiki. And those can, help facilitate an emotional release by getting these issues out of your tissues, getting them ready to move out of your body and out of your energy. Yarrow is also associated with a number of magical uses, from love to banishing unwanted individuals or energy from your life, also to developing your own intuitive abilities. So this is time to release whatever emotions hold you back. Open up your heart and your emotions, and open up your psychic senses, especially to messages in dreams. I find yarrow is a really nice herb to add to dream pillows. So if you're crafty, you could make yourself up a dream pillow and include yarrow in that. You could also include some powdered yarrow leaf to bath salts and either soak your feet or soak in the tub as a way to work with the energy of yarrow to help you open up. And let's see here. And the last one, bilberry. Bilberry is Vaccinum myrtillus, and the word here is clarity. Bilberry, in my opinion, my humble opinion, is an underutilized plant ally. I actually go to bilberry before cranberry when it comes to UTIs, but bilberry has also been shown to improve the strength of capillary walls, and the flexibility of red blood cells, and increase circulation of blood to the capillaries. The capillaries are the smallest blood vessels which carry blood and facilitate the exchange of nutrients and materials between the blood and the tissues. So it's the capillaries that are getting that nutrients into your tissues, and also it's bringing oxygen and nutrients to places like your eyes and to your brain. And this can, along with, let's say, other herbs like ginkgo biloba and all that, help to improve the blood flow to eyes, to the brain, and to help maintain that capillary health. So what's going on here is that these increase and preserve your visual and mental clarity. So for those who are drawn to this card, two things immediately come to mind as I'm looking at them in the context of this reading. When I'm looking at this card, rather, in the context of this reading. First, it's time to get clear as to what your goals are. And second, you need to look at what issues you need clarity around. So regarding goals, if you don't know where you're going, you're never going to get there. If you don't have a destination in mind, you're not going to reach that destination. And, it's fine if your goal right now is just to sort of wander about and just sort of explore stuff, but that's fine. That's your goal. And then you're doing that. But if you have a specific destination, you need to map out, a path to get there. And you might even need to map out a secondary or tertiary path to get there. But that takes planning. But if you don't know where you're going, if you don't know what the destination is, there's no point in making a plan. You can't plan for that. It's time to make a decision about what your goals are. So if you've been tossing something around in your mind for a while now, you need to get real clear. Is this something I really want to do or not? And if you want to do it, it's time to, oops, I got a little motorcycle driving by outside here. So what it's time to do now is to make a decision about that. Do you want to proceed with this? Don't you want to proceed with this? And then move on to whatever the next step is. You need to get clarity on that. Does this match with who you are? You won't have a direction, and you won't be able to ask for help if you don't know where you're going. You can't get directions if you don't know where you're going. If it's a choice between two goals, which one feels right? Which one resonates with you more than the other? Which option resonates with who you are? These are things to get clarity around. And if you're just stuck and you can't even come up with a goal, try talking it out Try journaling. Try reaching out to a mentor. Get some kind of a direction. If you just can't do that, then maybe we need to figure out that second part of this. What issues do you need clarity around? It feels like there may be something stuck that you're still questioning why certain things may have happened, or whether or not you've made the right decisions. There's something you're still going back and questioning, and you might need to address that directly with those involved. Or you might want to take another look at your own participation in it. What happened there? What was your motivation? Why did you make the decisions that you did? That way you can move forward from that. Now, bilberry also has a number of magical properties and ways that you can incorporate the energy of bilberry in your life. I find it's a nice protection from curses and a way to remove the negative thoughts that people often don't even intend to send your way, but send your way. It also can draw health and wealth to you. It can help you see the truth of a matter. So if you're like me and you like to do readings, you can keep a little bilberry with your divinatory tools. You can also use it for protection by sprinkling it, let's say at the four corners of your home, but also put it under doormats and at thresholds to keep negativity and ill-willed spirits and ill-willed people away. Having that kind of protection may give you some breathing room to gain that inner clarity that you need in order to move forward in life. Okay, so tomorrow is Friday. I don't have a reading for you, but I do have something special for you all. I'm going to be offering a 10-minute distance Reiki session, and I'll be creating a YouTube video for this. And I'm going to be posting this to social media tomorrow morning. And if you'd like to participate, you can just include your name there. You can also include your name in the comments of this video so that I know that you're participating in tomorrow's distance Reiki share. Now, if you like this video, please click that like button. If you haven't subscribed, please click that subscribe button so you get notified every time I post a new video for you. And I guess that's going to be it for today. I will see you all tomorrow.